Hey, what's up, FIT? This is Adrian Smith for another episode of Real Talk, and today I'm joined by Professor Leonard Best. Now, some of you might know him from the fashion design department, but today we're going to be getting up close and personal with Professor Best and finding out how he's not only impacted the fashion design community on campus, but the fashion design community in the world. You were the first African-American chair of the fashion design department.
Yes, indeed.
Tell us about when that happened for you and how that made you feel to just have such a great title at a great university and to also be breaking barriers and doing something new.
Well, it's a unique situation to be in. As you know, the fashion design department is the jewel in the crown of the Fashion Institute of Technology. It is the premier department. The college is pretty much founded on the fashion design department. And it is the oldest department at the college as well, and the largest department in the School of Art and Design. So we have approximately 135, 140 faculty members, depending on the semester. And so it can be challenging, having to deal with that many faculty members and to bring them together and to get them to go in a single direction. But it was an interesting and unique situation to be in, and it was a proud moment for me, Now,
I think if we remember the State of the Union address from President Obama, he had said that, when you ever try to make change, that evokes controversy and it stirs emotions. Why do you think people are so apt to not want to change or make differences or try something new?
I think human beings, themselves generally tend to be obstinate. We all have our ways, the way we've grown up. We come into these situations like that. And it's a little bit difficult, to look at somebody else's perspective, to open yourself up, to their views, and then to embrace those views.
Talk to us about, your experience and what you've done in your past as a professor and a contributor to the fashion industry overall.
Well, I have about 31 years experience in the apparel industry, and my background is in the high fashion market. So I've always worked here. I've worked in Europe sometime, and mostly the major designers. I've worked with the Household Organization. I've worked with Anne Klein. In Italy, I worked with a company, Marina Ferrari, the Dior organization. It's just a unique situation. Not too many people can make it into that market. It's a very small market. It's a very, very tight market. You don't get paid a lot of money. What you're working for is that name on that resume in the hopes that one day you will become the head of one of those great houses.
Of course, it's the CSSIL course.
That's right.
You wrote the curriculum. It's the first course of its kind. You received a grant. Once more, congratulations on that, Professor Best.
Thank you very much.
So we really want to know of how this course is impacting the FIT fashion design curriculum.
Well, CSSIL stands for Case Study Simulation and Immersive Learning. It's a blended course using various techniques. The case study portion of the course really is sort of an Ivy League technique that they use, or some of the major business schools like Darden and Yale will use the case study method. And so we start off with that approach, analyzing corporations, analyzing true situations that companies have been in the apparel industry, and throwing the designers or the students into the fold of this problem and helping them to think their way through it. Because that's the reality, that's what's going to happen when they arrive in the apparel industry. There's not going to be a professor there to give you all the instructions and tell you what the next step is going to be.
Are you able to show us some of the components of the program?
Certainly. We have the simulation, which they go into in about 2/3 into the semester. They actually physically go into a simulation which tests out what they have learned during the course of the semester. And if they're successful in their decision making, they'll have a successful journey. And if they make bad decisions, they'll pay the consequences for those decisions.
So can we see that on one of the computers here?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's go check that out.
Go back and take a look.
And so we have the opening screen, and you can see it's product resource development. This is how do we develop the resources to put into the product development program, the PDM program itself. And so we start by clicking on the scissors. And it first takes us through an opening scenario to give them some idea of what this process might be like. Now, when we go to the next page of the simulation, this is the first time in which the students actually meets the design team. So, this is Echo Collins, and this is a little bit of background. And they have a detailed backgrounder, but they get a background on the Echo Collins organization. They talk about a little bit about the brand and what role each one of these designers, as you can see, they're associate designers inside the Echo Collins organization.
Okay.
And as we hover over each one of these names, we get some information about the president of the company. So the course actually is more than just about product data management. It's about leadership, it's about growing, it's about developing your communication skills. So that's why the students say it's such a great course at the end of the semester, because they've learned more than how to put information into a database. They've learned how to communicate their ideas, how to deal with their teammates, and how to work through issues and problems, how to speak up at all hands meetings such that when they arrive in industry and they have to communicate, they feel comfortable being in that environment, how to listen to other individuals, while they're learning how to create this collection at exactly the same time. Because all of these things are all happening in unison when you're trying to put a collection together. It's never just you sitting down designing this collection. It is my hope that FIT will look at simulation-based learning. This is why I'm doing the research, because I didn't develop this just for the fashion design department. This is a pioneering effort to see if simulation-based learning can and should be brought into the FIT curriculum. The success of this course has been so amazing, not because I say so, but because the students who have graduated from the program say that this is the most powerful course that they have taken in the fashion design department. I'm hoping that other departments, upon seeing the simulation and hearing what these students have to say about the simulation, will now begin to look at it and maybe incorporate that into their programs.
Well, Professor Bess, thank you so much for sharing this with us and letting us know more about it, because I knew nothing about this course, and it's great to know that we do have courses like this on campus, courses that allow you as a teacher to really be immersed with the students and get the student feedback and allow the students to change the course. And hopefully we'll see this go cross-curriculum, and hopefully one day there'll be a simulation course for the AMC majors too, so that we can be just as immersed as the fashion design students. Thank you so much, Professor Bess, for joining us.
My pleasure, Adrian. Always good seeing you.
Good to see you too.